Hey guys, Subject was here. Welcome back to another Thursday live stream. I hope it's working okay. I've had some absolute nightmares trying to get this stream fixed. So let me know in the chat if it's working, if the video's working, if the sound's working. Let me know, please. What a disaster. So literally just started my stream up as normal, no different. And it said, your account is not connected. I was like, what? And then I don't know. I've tried connecting it. It's not connected right. My chat is not up. I've had to pop out the chat from actual YouTube. It's not feeding into OBS. I don't know what's going on. I'm honest with you, but we are live. That's the main thing. So apologies for the late start. That was crazy. Only thing I'm worried about now is that I don't know what I did to fix it. I just did a lot of stuff very quickly. And next week, I'm probably going to go through it again. Who knows? But maybe the same next week, guys. We'll see what happens next week. But for now, it's a makeshift stream, but we're streaming. That's the good thing. So, apologies, guys, for the late start, like I said. But hopefully it's going to be all right. But yeah, thanks for joining me. So, as always, action-packed stream. So, today, we were talking a bit about binary bombs. We're going to talking about the new challenge battle that is coming into the game and how you can beat it. We're going to be doing a ratings of all the bots in the game after the new balance pack that is coming soon. We're going to take a look at a few bots as well that I think could be relevant with the balance changes, something some people might not realise maybe. And then taking a look at the next legacy bot as well. So, plenty to go through in this week's stream, and we're starting late. I don't want to overshoot too much and then run into freeze stream. So we're going to get cracking. So first off, let's see who we've got in the chat. Let's see who's stuck around long enough with all the messing about. So we've got London's Calling. Thanks for joining. Trax, one of the members and moderator as well. We've got Darklands. We've got Blade 1999. Thanks for joining. Yeah, like I said, apologies for the late notification. Like I said, I was scrambling trying to get it fixed. We've also got Ricky Law. We've got the Wrecker 1984. We've got Giga 08. We've got Lou Mega as well. Thanks for joining. We've got Dalila as well. Thanks for joining. Who's Dalila? It's a long-term member, that, but I don't know who that is. I hate these YouTube. Oh, hang on. Hang on. No. I hate this. It's a moderator, so it's definitely someone I know. Hate it. I hate these YouTube names. Grind Time, obviously. Thanks for joining, buddy. Andrew Stevenson. Matty XP4PB. What is it with these names, honestly? We've got, who else? Jason Rowley as well. Daniel Noguera, 947. Thanks for joining. Wesley Souza as well. Who else have we got? Brad Channing, my buddy, as well. Says chop chop. Yeah, F you. We've got Dishon 6928 as well. And yeah, my buddy CF as well. Go check his channel out, guys. And I think that is everyone. So it looks like there's loads of new people in the stream, but I'll guarantee that most of these people have been here time and time and time again. And YouTube just decided, no, I'm going to call you something else. Pretty similar to my stream today. Nope, I'm not going to let you stream today. Thanks for that. Cheers. Cool. All right, let's get straight in to the newsletter first. If I can find it now, honestly, because I'm having such a nightmare with this. So yeah, it might be a bit like yesterday's stream. Apologies, guys. Let's go. So, bar week, Grana, week Ninny Bong. This weekend's event is called Target Acquired. Just gonna move that camera a bit. See, I've not had time to even do this sort of stuff either. Like, get it all set up right and stuff. Yes, this weekend's event is called Target Acquired. This weekend's event is for some Prime Shards. I'm glad they put Prime Shards back in again. A lot of people are complaining, especially newer players, mid-level players that were collecting the defense prime calls and whatever else, and didn't have enough Prime Core shards. So 10,000 is a good chunk as well. So doing this event, if you're a newer player, is a great event for you. We've got shard crystals, Prem, Spark, a good amount of Spark as well, each of the Sparks as well. And then we've got fuel cells. So I wasn't really interested in the event until I saw that. I was like, oh, fuel cells. So I hit up Cal and sort of said, one of the community managers, and just said, are these going to inventory? He's like, no. So I was like, I was almost going to play this event for fuel cells. Because I'm at a point now where it's only new content, fuel cells, and cyber coins that I really need. There's nothing else that I need. So if those are available in a event, then yeah, I'm going for the event probably. If the new content is good as well. But with fuel cells not going into inventory, I don't really see the point, and I've got plenty of everything else. So probably gonna give this weekend's event a miss, me personally, but it is good for mid to low level players. So yes, 1,000 points per prestige, 50 prestiges, and that's the rewards throughout. So obviously you don't have to complete the event to 50k. So if you are free to play and struggling to do 50k, just do 20k, 30k, you'll get half the rewards still. It's still a decent amount, still getting like 5k Prime Core shards, just for getting like 25k. So, decent event. And then game updates and information. So this hit the newsletter, and I didn't actually see any of this until the newsletter, and then started asking a couple of questions to Cal. And my first thing was that we'll go through it, and then I'll sort of talk about it afterwards. So, total prime power. So introducing total prime power. Total Prime Power is an account-wide progression system that grows as you collect, level, and upgrade your primes and their artifacts. While only one prime enters battle at a time, every prime you own contributes to your overall strength. At its core, the system is simple. Everything you do to improve any prime makes all your primes stronger. So, quite clever really. Because it means you've got to level them all. Which I'm not too happy about, because that means that you got to get 12 primes and level 12 primes, and that will level all of them somehow. So, I'm not too sure how it's going to work yet, but you earn prime power by owning primes, okay, leveling primes, ranking primes, owning prime artifacts, okay, and leveling artifacts. So it's basically just leveling, owning, ranking, everything around primes. Each of these actions awards prime power points. All prime power points earned across your collection are added together to form your total prime power score. As this score increases, you unlock milestone rewards that provide permanent account-wide stat bonuses. These bonuses apply to every prime you use in battle, regardless of which prime they came from. So the milestones increase things such as health, damage, ability damage, prime deployment range, faster prime XP gain, and passive healing bonuses. So every battle, every win, every loss, every experience point, every level, these will all serve as meaningful steps, not only making your primes more powerful, but your entire teams and playstyles more impactful. So I don't know how I feel about this. I think I need more information. And I said to Cal that the problem is that you put a bit of information in there, but doesn't completely explain it. So I'd like to know that if you want to get 6 primes and you max out those 6 and you get a new one, does it start at a high level because you've got 6 maxed out already? When you get 1 to level 20, does it mean that we're all at level 20? That's a bit weird. I don't know how I feel about it. And I said to Callum, by putting this information out, you kind of put half the information out, and you're going to have so many questions about it until it comes into the game. Maybe you shouldn't have put that much information out. Maybe you should just put something where we're working on something to level primes better. But then he sort of said that, to be fair though, people don't have a lot of faith in us right now. We want to give them something to know that we are addressing it and try and get as much information as we can. And I was like, you know what? I kind of get that a bit, By being too vague sometimes, you might think, yeah, right, talking nonsense. But then by putting too much information, you get too many questions. So a lot of questions for me on how it's going to work. I just don't like the fact that you can't level one prime, because I've said that there's a couple of primes, well, Megatronus, probably Solus, that I'm not too keen on, that I don't want to go for. I'm not that bothered about. I'm not bothered about leveling, but there will be some in the future. So what it's kind of doing is it's kind of making you level the not so good crap primes to level your good ones. I feel like that's going to work like that. So can you imagine? Can you imagine a system where your bots stopped at level 65, and to get pipes to level 70, you had to level Orion packs to 65? That's kind of how I sort of see it, and I don't like that. You should be able to choose what you want to level. So it all depends on how much of it feeds in. So, I would like to be able to level what I want to level, and not being forced to level them all equally. We sort of saw this with the Titan Tech Tree, where they forced us to level everything in a way, and I didn't like it. I liked a bit of choice. As you guys know, I say this a lot, I like to have a choice in the game and be a bit different, so everyone has a different account, where I just feel like everyone has a very similar account right now, with the same bots, the same stuff, the same base, even layouts, even pretty much. So I like a bit of variety. I just think that this doesn't add variety. It means that everyone's going to max them all. So we'll have to wait and see until the actual system comes out. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe you don't have to level them all. Maybe leveling them halfway. But with the current XP requirements, I just think it's too much. It's ridiculous, the XP requirements for primes right now. So, and I don't think this is going to improve it. It doesn't say that. I mean, it's faster prime XP gain, but that's by leveling other bots. So you've got to level them other ones slowly to get the other ones leveled faster. Again, a lot of questions about this. I don't want to make too much of a judgment yet. But for me, the main thing is improving the primes that are already out and giving them less XP requirements. If this does that, if this makes them better and makes it easy for them to level, then I might be, more inclined to say, I don't mind it. But right now, I'm a bit on the fence. Let's wait and see for more. Then we've got a challenge battle that Dale has produced, just something fun for Christmas, nothing too crazy. I see that there is 3 MDSs, is it, or is it 4 MDSs and 3 shield gens and some crazy build bots and stuff and some new cores and stuff. So I don't think it's a testing ground for new stuff. I think they're just throwing things out there just for fun, just for people to have a go. So we're gonna go for that later. I found out a pretty decent way of beating it. So you get the bots given to you as well, so you haven't got to worry about your bot levels. But yeah, we'll go for that later. And then in terms of bundles, we've got the Born Leader bundle, the Born Leader crystals again, and then we've got the Fuel XP bundles with Cybercoins, Fuel Cells, XP cores, and SPAC. Then we've got the Saga schedule, where we are up to about week 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, with the new Prime coming next week. But for me, I'm looking forward to the new bot at the end of January, Feb, really. New combat, maybe. I don't know. I think my combats are pretty much set. It has to be a game changer for it to be a new combat that I want. Prime being a leaderboard event, no thank you. I'll never compete in a leaderboard event ever again. I competed in many a leaderboard, and they were so grindy. And then, obviously, the Minerva leaderboard, I actually skipped out because I actually had a busy weekend in work. I'm glad I did. Probably the worst leaderboard ever. It's renowned for it. And so, yeah, probably not. But for the new bot, Alliance Endurance, yeah, at 4 mil, I don't mind it. It's what is it, 100,000 per person for a major rank. But it's 3.5 for the new bot, so it's what's that? You talk about 85k probably, 90k, something like that. So yeah, I'll probably go for the 5-star bot, but not the major rank. I can't believe they put a major rank at 4 mil above the new bot. Like, the major rank is more desirable than the new bot. It just speaks volumes for me alone. And then content creators, obviously myself, Freezers Max, Soldier, and CF. Go and check out all their channel, guys. Go and support your content creators. And then still no stream from the team. You would think they would stream for Christmas, wouldn't you? Do something before Christmas. Show some new stuff coming next year or something, but who knows? But then again, I think they do break up for work in about 2 weeks. I think it is a date today. I think it's 11th. No, so it's a week. A week tomorrow they break up. So obviously the 8th won't be available for 2 weeks while they break up from work. So that'll be around the 20th of December, 19th of December, the Friday. Right through until I think like the 5th of Jan. They'll be absent for. So yeah. Gonna be an interesting couple of weeks. Always is. Things go wrong and then there's no one around. It's gonna be a bit crazy. Let's see what people put in the chat. Daniel Noguera's put, is there a chance for Prime Code Shad to become more often? I've said there should be. I said there should be in all events, I think. But they have made a point of making a Prime Code Shad event this week, so and it's a decent amount if it is. So it's pretty good. Mark Cooper, why would we need so many fuel cells for 50k event? I don't think it's just more fuel cells, but it's just a case of like, no, just something extra to help you out. Yeah, down on support unless Prime share XP leveling primes is still going sucks. It's still gonna suck. Yeah, basically it is. Yeah, even leveling 1 is enough. It sounds weird, but I'd rather level 12 quickly than level 1 slowly. Because it needs that much. It's just so grindy. Like, oh god, like it's like 50 battles to 1 level. Where if it was 10 and I do that times 12, I'll probably do more over the 12. But it just feels less grindy because you're not doing it in one big go or one continuous stint. Shot bombs is an idea to get people playing the game and not have to buff them. Well, it will buff them more, I suppose. You know, so. Blade 19's but the primes are so bad they had to bring something else into the game to make them usable. I still don't use my primes in wars. Never, haven't for a long time. I haven't used them in wars since about 2 weeks after they came out. I don't. In fact, I'll go one step further. I haven't used Megatronus since 2 weeks after he came out. At all. Not once. Not for war, not for events, not for battles, not for anything at all. I've not used it. And that's quite poor. Yeah, Stephen Gomez, thanks for joining. Let's put the primes take forever to level and feel like XP drains. Massive amounts of XP needed per level. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Yeah, down to support. At least with Titans, you can control the attack. Can't do anything with primes once deployed. Yeah, I kind of get that as well. Yeah, I just think they got it totally wrong. I just think, for me, if I was doing the primes personally, I understand it. If you just bring a big bot out that does an ability, then it's kind of like it's the bot. So it needs to be something different. And I've said what I would like is I would have put each prime. I don't mind the bit we have to deploy it late. I don't mind that, but the requirement for the points is a bit too much. But I would have it where you drop the prime and it gives your team a buff for the rest of the battle of some kind, depending on which prime you choose. I would also have the prime like very strong, very strong. If it's a tank, I would give it great HP. If it's obviously a gunner one, give it great DPS. Maybe not as great HP, but amazing DPS. And it's sort of like emphasizing maybe one thing. Like I won't give Megatronus great HP and great DPS. I just give him great HP and give everyone extra fire damage or something. Solus, I do like the fact that it gives like minions extra damage and stuff. I do that, but I'd have made her maybe a gunner or something. I'd have made her a gunner. And I'd give her great 2,500 DPS, but give her the normal HPS of a gunner. But be able to be healed as well. So I don't know. I think I've done it a bit different. I think they need to interact with your squad a bit differently rather than what they do. Yeah, down support Minerva burnout from the leaderboard. Yeah. Blade 19 spot. I don't want to get all of the 12 primes and level them Unless they do something to make it way easy to level them. Yeah, I agree. Um, Darkness put Solus prize spark to unlock Solus. Solus should be early in the event next week. You'd hope so. So Matty's put. So are they going to release the next balance patch right before a 4 million event and then go on our holidays? Yep. He's got a point on it. I'd not thought of that, but he's got a point. Yeah, you live and learn. Or don't. 25 new currencies for primes is the main reason I have concerns about the PPP. Yeah, it is 25 new currencies. It is 25 new currencies. That answers put because of the crash bug. Yep, exact reason. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. Boss Thomas has put my name is Thomas and Transformers Earth War's name is Tomtron. My alliance is called Tomtron Alliance. Thanks for joining. Bit of advice. If you are new Transformers Earth War, I said a few times, guys. Little tip. Obviously, you can see there that's your alliance by the name. Be careful creating your own alliances, guys. Be careful. The best thing to do is not create your own alliance. The best thing to do is join an existing one. There's nothing harder than setting up an alliance and trying to find 39 other people that are going to help you and be active at your level. Really, really, really difficult. You won't understand how difficult it is. You get a lot of people just leeching. A lot of people inactive, things like that. So just make sure that the alliance is active. Everyone's active. But yeah, it's a hard job running an alliance. I won't wish it on anyone. And I would honestly say the best thing to do is join an already existing alliance. I really would. But you want to do it? It's up to you. Give it a go. Okay, cool. Let's go into the game. Not test account. Let's go into the live for a second. Get the chat back up again. Hearing. Love the new loading screen. What do you guys think? Thought it was really, really cool. Obviously, the thumbnail for the stream as well. Why is it on 2%? This is quite worrying. Why is it just sitting on 2%? For a minute, and I was quite worried. Now it's stuck on 5%. What's going on today? There we go. I was slightly worried there for a minute. Only slightly though. Cool. So today I finished the battle pass and got a binary bond. So great addition to the pass. And when it was announced, I was like, wow, unbelievable value. Guys, make sure you go and complete the pass this month. Binary bond, amazing. I'm now sort of set with who I should give it to. So it's at a point where I was like, I've got most of them in my team already at 11. I think Bloodstrike is a good contender. I like that. Immunity to hack is big for me. I love it. Then go on defense, maybe Sidetrack or someone like that. Maybe Big Daddy put to 11. But when you look at the health and damage of Big Daddy and the same for Sidetrack, it's not great, the health and damage increase. And then if we go to weapons, for the Solus Prime I use quite a bit. Probably one of my favourite weapons, aka combats as well. But when you look at the increase, a damage bonus of 2.2 normal damage, and I put on pipes, so that's negligible. And then the slam healing amount has gone from 25 to 28% damage dealt, but again it's on pipes, so it's negligible. So if I was putting Forge of Souls on a better bot, then I maybe think about it. But on a tank, it's too focused around damage for me to up to 11. And then if I look at Buzzstrike, he's on Taz Kid, but Taz Kid's not on my war team. He comes in and out, but he's not really on my war team. And so I'm sort of sat with a with a binary bond, do I put it on Peacemaker, make him ability 11 on defense? Maybe. But I'm sat here with a binary bond thinking, I'm not sure who to use it on. And then in today's update, I mean, I like this update. If you go to section here, binary bonds are now purchasable with combat shards. So there's no combats really that I want anymore. And I've got loads of shards. But I'm also at a point where I'm like, I don't really need binary bonds now. So it's amazing for newer players. But it's a bit, I think it's a little bit too late. If this was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I'd have probably snatched this. But then again, I probably wouldn't have bought any binary bundles. So maybe it was a good time. Maybe the binary bundles should have come a bit earlier. But it's listen, it's a great opportunity for people to get binary bonds that maybe didn't spend before. They can get them with these shards, but I imagine those sort of people probably don't have all the combats they want either. So I like it. It's a great addition. Being able to get binary bonds for 5,000 shards. I like it. I like the fact that they're in the side pass. It's a good reason for people to buy the side pass. Nice and cheap. Great rewards. So, great addition to the game. Was kept quiet. Didn't get announced at all. Just seen it in the chat. Just saying like, hey, you can buy binary bonds with shards. I was like, what? Since when? So, yeah, I like the addition. Very sneaky. Not been really announced anywhere. But for me, I think that once you've got your war team done with binary bonds, after that, then I think there's no need for them really. It's just giving you that little bit of edge for your war team. But I'm sure there's people out there, that want to collect them, want to improve everything. But as we know, I don't even max my bots out. I just believe in being quite efficient. And a binary bond on some people will do wonders. Especially some of the ones that I've done already. As you can see there. CL, Kunai, Rung, Glitch, Nightstick, Peacemaker, Jazzy, all these great bots, combats even, to give a binary bond to. But then once you go further down, the not so great ones, are you going to give them a binary bond? Probably not. So, yeah, if you haven't got all your war team sort of maxed out with a binary bond, then I'd suggest, yes, go and do that. It's a great way to go get them. But if you have, then maybe save the shards for maybe some new combats coming out, maybe. Might need some other use for them. Who knows? But, you know, my sort of take, if you don't need it, save it. Alpha X, how to get the shadow avatars. I don't think you can, don't there is one. Dance, but I put up one just to check out. Yeah, well, I was tempted just to see if it was 5,000 shards or not. 500 or something, but yeah. Jimmy Capital, how's it going? Good to see you. Dance, but Callum said it would be short term. That's a shame. Why? That'll be short term. Boss Thomas put, I have a question. How do you get 8 map beat? 8 map? Well, so only got 1 out of 5 done with map war. I don't know what you mean, but don't know what map 8 is. Sorry. Michael White, aka Cheetos, put I have them all 11. Of course you do. Find something to do with the abundance of shards. I thought you'd have them all already. Mark Cooper's put their communication has been absolutely terrible lately, even about good things and that people would be excited about. I agree. Yeah. Campaign map. Which one's number 8? Not gonna lie, it's been so long. Number 8. Return to Cybertron. I've actually done a video on this actually quite a while ago. So if you go into my videos and search for Return to Cybertron campaign, then that should show you how to beat it. It was a while ago though. So yeah. Highly classified for any HQ19 updates. Yes, they are working on it. They did confirm they are working on it, but they've not confirmed how far along it is. So yeah, they are definitely working on it, but no update as such. Cool. Next up. Alpha X, I don't know how to get shadow avatars. I don't think there is any shadow avatars to get. I'm not stealing myself. I'm not a big Avatar fan personally, but yeah. Do Leela's put any updates on new combiner? No, I don't think there will be. I think there will just be 5-star combiners next, but no update who that'll be. So as seen in the newsletter, Dale has created a festive base for us to try and beat. And it is a bit of a doozy. I'm not going to lie, because there is like 3 shield gens and 4 MDS. It's also added some interesting things. So you've got acid bullets, which obviously stops healing. You've got empowered laser beam, deals fire damage. So you've got fire and acid there together. Empowered laser beam and acid damage. And then you've got Sleepy. Gain a 6% damage reduction shield. Adjacent buildings are sleeping. They will only attack if you hit them first. Bit weird that the fact that as soon as you go near them, they are going to attack them and do some sort of DPS or passive or something. So I like the idea though, something different, but it's not really going to work, I don't think. When they wake up, they'll gain 100% DPS for the rest of this battle until the building is destroyed. So you need to be careful of that. On the other side here, gain 6% damage reduction shield. All defenses heal by 20% of their missing health every 10 seconds until this building is destroyed. Then we've got fire damage, acid damage, fire damage. We've got the MDS there, and the shield gen is normal, but then we've got gain of 40% damage reduction shield. Adjacent buildings gain stealth. I don't know how that's going to work. Does that mean they don't path towards them? I don't know. I think so, maybe. And gain of 40% damage reduction. Adjacent buildings gain 40% lifesteal, restoring your health based on damage dealt until this building is destroyed. Then we've got some shock towers up here as normal, and then we've got some super frost shells. I did like these actually. Strike enemies with snowball rockets, knocking them back a fair distance, and they do actually knock them back quite a bit. Enemies hit gain the chill effect that reduces their attack and movement speed by 15%, 15 seconds, and it stacks 4 times. I do like the knockback. The knockback is really good. I feel like they should put this in the game, improving some current cores or something. It is a really good thing. And you can see there the ranges are quite credible there. Look at that. Crazy range. The MDS range is infinite, I think, because it does hit your bots. So it might be because it's not popped out yet, but it does. And then this bad boy here, Luxor Destabilizer, 198,000 health and 416 damage. So you can see in comparison there, damage is quite minimal, but 198,000 health, roughly, that's like what, 19 levels it has roughly. But you get 5 ability points every time you take a level out. So a good way to get some ability points. You do have a little bit of a thing here. The Great Wall of Earth Wars. But all of the walls gain 25% reflection and 20% health until this wall is destroyed. I did say to Dale, oops, hang on. Start again. So I did say to Dale about this wall that I said that I don't see the point in it, because you drop it there and the bot's going to walk left and right. They're not going to attack that wall unless you pop the combiner, but then there's nothing to pop the combiner with. You can't rush to anywhere because you can't rush to walls. You got to rush to a defense. So I don't really like that there. I think it's a bit of a useless thing, to be honest. But how to beat this base? So I have beat it a few times without a combiner. A couple of times I had to use a combiner because there is 2 combiner outposts as well. Careful of that. But generally, the best way to beat this is to use Punch, who stuns an area, stun these defenses, stop them from working. Then using Beast Wars Ironhide, who obviously rushes in and puts glass gas down on the MDSs, along with Optimal Optimus. Snarl, lately, the last few times I've played it, I haven't put him down at all. Because his pathing is completely different to everyone else. And he just runs off and pops combiners and pops outposts. And I wasn't really happy with using Snarl, which is not going to advertisement for him. For his rework, but it's more his pathing really. So the idea we're going to do is going to drop these 3 guys in. I'm going to rush in Beast Wars Ironhide, along with Punch, try and take this area out and pop the. This is Chromia with a tower, so be careful of that. Then we're going to drop Optimal Punch straight behind and stun all this with Punch. Then we're going to rush Beast Wars Ironhide up to here. And then Optimus smash this area out and just keep rushing Beast Wars Ironhide and Optimus around here. Once this MDS, which has the laser, which obviously shoots through your bot onto the next one. Once that is gone, I think that one is glass gas. I think that one is laser as well, and that one is glass gas, I think. Once these 2 are gone, then you can sort of drop Minerva and keep bots alive. But I wouldn't until then because that MDS is just nasty. So let's give it a go. I did try on the other side as well, but I like this side because you've got a Titan and they don't, so you get a bit of an advantage in clearing it. So we'll go from there. So Beast Wars Ironhide first, drop it at the back so you don't pop the combiner. Rush him into there. And then Punch. And then we're going to use Punch right there like that. Then we're going to rush him in there. Use Optimus up there. As you can see. Rush him into there again. Optimus again. You can see there. I'm just literally just trying to take out this MDS. I'm going to rush him in again. Now I'm going to drop Minerva. Bot's healed. Healing tower down there. Probably going to lose Minerva, but it doesn't matter at this point. And that should be base down now. Hit me with glass gas, but it doesn't matter. It's not causing too much damage there. But he's also got a Micronus core, so he's healing. And there we go, base down without using the combiner. Obviously, you can use Volcanicus to take out some of the MDSs or shield gen that you miss. But make sure you don't catch the combiner at the bottom. I did have some other success. The other success was actually letting my bot hit on this Luxon Destabilizer, getting loads of points and just rushing Beast Wars Ironhide up. We'll give that a go. It was mixed results, though, I'm not going to lie, so I'm a bit wary of doing that, but let's give it a go. And rush him up there like that. Put him into stealth. And you watch now carefully. Once that tower explodes, then we're alright then, I think. And now, it's a matter of rushing him up there, wait, and they combine. There we go. As you can see, a bit mixed results. Just need to keep him alive, basically. If we can keep him alive, we'll drop the combine, I think. Yeah, too many combiners hitting on him. Just make sure to take his combiners out. That's the priority. Get rid of them. You see there, just gaining points now. Going through the there you go. Just rushing him up to the top basically, and then just make sure you keep it in that destabilizer and just getting points and just keeping them bots alive basically. But a couple of ways different to do it. But I definitely find that the first way was a lot more easier. So yeah, if you're struggling with that, it's going to be available in game. There's going to be some rewards to get as well. There's going to be a hard mode that I've not tried yet. It's not available. So obviously when that comes out, I'll give it a go and try and do a video on that as well. But there is going to be some things available. Some prizes available for completing it. So give it a go, guys. Follow the guide. Hope you beat it. Good luck. And yeah, it's a decent little thing for ready for Christmas to get some decent rewards. I think I don't want to say what Dale said was going to be, but it was decent rewards, guys, especially for lower level players. So hope you can beat it. Good luck. Mark 425, but I would love a 5-star version of Punch and Counter Punch. Well, I'll have to wait and see, won't you? So later in the stream, maybe. Stephen Gomez has put, sounds like you're a fan of the 5-star punch that's coming out soon. You'll see later on. Down support, beacon binders are only good when popped and abilities used. Want to make them scarier. They randomly use any of the abilities they have access to while they are out. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, probably could, to be fair. I think combiners could be scarier. I do. But then we had combiners that were like stupid health and it just was like, just hit constantly. So it wasn't great. So, yeah. Cool. All right, let's get into the ratings. Nope. Where's the ratings gone? There we are. That's better. Get my chat back. Get OBS back. And then just ruined everything by doing that. But yeah, that's supposed to be like that. Let's get the chat back. There we go. Cool. So here we are again doing rated videos of all the bots in the game after the balance patch. So I've got a list of the cost changes on there for reference, and you see all the changes that are happening. There are a few nerfs too, but I don't think the nerfs are too bad to make any of the bots irrelevant. I think they're quite good changes. But as you can see, so many buffs. So obviously starting off with, as you can see there, needs a rework or a huge change to be relevant. For me, these bots that are just sort of like, I'm never going to use, basically. Now, I know that Punch and Counterpunch are getting a rework, but obviously this is before their Legacy event. So I didn't want to sort of preempt what they're going to be in the game, because we can't preempt it when, you know, they're not in the game yet. So it's a pretty preemptive, but I am confident they'll be higher than this because they're getting a rework. But as you can see there, you know, Cliff Jumper, Kickback, Dust Up, Vortex, and some very familiar faces that sort of need some reworks. It's not very good. And as you can see, a lot of these are only 4 stars and not 5-star versions. And so those will probably get a rework or legacy event over time. What worries me is the likes of Beast Wars, Optimus, and Megs, and then obviously Cheeto and Black Arachnia, because they actually have 5-star versions. So that's kind of like the things to worry about, is where they already have 5-star versions, because in the 4-star versions they'll get a legacy rework, but the 5-star versions are already there. So a bit worrying, but for me, those are the sort of bots to avoid. If you do pull them, don't really level them, and just hope that over time they might get an improvement. Next up, we've got okay, but not the best. So these are sort of bots that are, you can use them to a degree, but I just don't think they're good enough, basically. And you can see there, you sort of got Mirage and Breakdown. Jazz and Mixmaster had a recent buff, but even with the cost change, they still don't do enough damage in Prime League. Maybe in lower levels, maybe decent. Obviously, RC and Nightbird, just not enough HP for me for Warriors. Protect and Bombshell. Hacking is coming back a bit, but hacking only like a couple of targets. You know, when you've got Peacemaker that does that for free, why would you use Percept and Bombshell and use ability points to do it? No, just got a bit left behind with his HP. Sludge and Straxus, although walls are causing absolute havoc in Prime Wars, and probably the most important defense on the map. In terms of pathing, no one uses them still. It's a reason why. Rodimus and Motormaster, they're okay in some teams, but not for me. Tigerhawk and Waspinate again had a bit of a buff, but still aren't decent. Go Fire and Ramjet fell well away from the meta, and just don't have the HP to survive or the damage to overtake anyone who does decent damage either. So sort of in the middle really. Cybertron, Jetfire, and Starscream okay for raids, but that's about it. Very limited in terms of where they're going to be useful. Strafe and Thrust, I've got a buff, so they have got a better cost, but I just don't like the pathing in terms of that they're in the air, and the fact that they only target defenses and get caught between walls and cause your bots to split, healers to run off. So not a big fan. Impact has had a fix, so I'll have to wait and see how he goes, but he generally doesn't do a lot of damage and dies still. So it'll be intriguing to see how he works now with his actual right shield. But still doesn't quite do enough damage. Very similar to Sensius, where it's just lacks. I don't know. They've got Double Dealer, who I love Double Dealer as a bot, but just not a big fan in the game. Again, his damage just lasts too long. Then we've got Scattershot, Leo Zack, and they're alright. It's acid, but I just feel like didn't quite do enough damage. The melee bolts got quite a few things not going for them. Orion Packs and Megs, obviously absolute rubbish. Covered them in a recent video how bad they were. The healing just doesn't actually hit your bots because it's too far away. Brawn and Till, although Brawn's ability is good, it's a bit broken at the minute. It needs fixing. It's not bouncing to the next target. It's bouncing to the second or third target, so you can't really depend on where it's going. Obviously can't hit resource buildings anymore, so Obviously can't hit shock towers, can't hit the MDS, anything that can't be stunned. It doesn't target, so there's far too many exceptions. If it was working, it probably would be higher. But with the fact that he's a bit broken, coupled with the how many exceptions he has, sort of puts him down a bit. Broadside and 8-face, I love the idea of it. 8-face are my favourite Transformers of all time. But I just find them really lacking in terms of damage and really lacking in terms of healing. And then as selves, as 4-stars, just the Medibots fly around up with the healer too much. Don't target that well. The targeting is quite poor. And then we've got Skyburst and Onslaught. Skyburst was my first ever 5-star, and she's still like level 63. I just feel like the ability is okay for cleaning up, but it's quite expensive for just cleaning up. And sort of just damaging a line, but again, you very rarely get defenses in a line on decent bases, more in an area. So bots that do area damage in an area are more beneficial than in a line. So yeah, I think does she need a rework? I don't know. There's a space for it maybe in the game, but I just don't like her, if I'm honest with you. Then we've got a list of decent bots, but there's better out there. So I'll try and I could probably move this now, I think. Move this out of the way a bit, I think. Yeah, move that down there a bit. I'm going to try and get it on. So obviously got Optimus Prime and Megs. People still use these to a degree, but you see them less and less in wars now, where people are sort of learning to pack more rather than wasting ability points, because ability points are so precious. So not the best. Windblade and Dive Bomb. They're okay. I think with the cost change, they're a bit more relevant. But I still think there's better bots out there for sack, and that's what they're mainly used for. Blaster and Soundwave, as terms of minions go, probably the best, but they just lack a bit of HP. Hound and Dragstrip could be better. I feel like they're on the cusp of being really, really good bots. But the fact that they target resource buildings more, and the fact that you can't use air raid anymore on resource buildings really knocked them back. So incredible range, but lacks just a tiny bit of punch. Skydive and Skywalk do one of the highest damages in the game, so really, really good bots. But as 4-stars, I still lack a bit. 5-star version might make a bit more relevant. Acid's decent, but I don't know. I just think that SG Jetfire now with the cost changes slowly becoming a better bot. SG Jetfire going down to 5+3, so probably makes Skydive and Skywalker relevant. Powerglide Cyclonus having a bit of a buff as well with the damage increase, but I still feel like they need more range to be relevant. Swoop and Scourge were amazing in Outposts for quite a while, but we're seeing them less and less now. And just people are just going more for more damage and more HP rather than their ability damage. Then we've got Inferno, Rodimus, Unicronus. I've never been a big fan of these. I always say that when the next HQ come around, these guys will be relevant. But what happens is we get more points, then people start to combo a bit more, and then level more bots, and then them bots get more powerful. It's just rinse and repeat. I've never really found a place for them in my team. I know Tex, my good buddy, used to love these guys, but I'm never a big fan. I know that Freeze loves them, but not for me. Then we've got Star Saber Saurius, and a cost change recently as well. So a bit more relevant, but still quite expensive. Then we've got First Aid and Reflector, one of the worst healers in the game. I'm honest with you, I think that, again, with the buff, they're a bit better, but they're still not there like the rest of them. Hopeful and Lockdown have had a cost change, but I think that they probably would have been down in the rework, maybe, or lower levels, because they were awful. But with the cost change at having a +0, might then make it a bit more useful. Have to wait and see, but for the time being, it's not great. Laser Optimus Armada, just did enough damage, hits walls with ability. Spring and Astral Train, we're seeing the back doors a bit less and less all of a sudden, because people are taking less risk in wars because they don't need to, because they can beat defenses quite easily. So people are not really using these bots so much. The issue with Blitzwing and Skylynx has always been pathing rather than damage. Hot Rod and Nemesis Prime were really good in Outpost for a while, but not so much anymore and quite expensive. Because it does no damage the ability, just sort of makes someone invulnerable. Sentius Twins, decent damage, definitely lower levels, but at higher levels, even a cost change, I don't think they're quite relevant enough. There's bots that can do a lot more damage in an area a lot quicker than they can. Slash and Ripper Snapper, good for like, Zen farming. They do a great amount of damage, but pathing's quite awful, and you can't really rely on it, definitely not in wars. Octane and Sandstorm are good. They do a good amount of healing, but for some reason just never quite hit the meta. Never put my finger on it. But they are quite good. I just don't know. Never see them. Then we've got Streetwise and Sinner Twin. I think they're down here mainly because they're 4 stars, but I think 5-star versions, they'll probably be up in A tier. But you rarely see them in wars, especially because of that. But I think they've got the potential to be really, really good. Rhinox Tarantulas, don't see that much anymore. See him a bit in Outpost back in the day, but not so much. Again, Beastwars Silverbolt and Kikarikan. The reason these are down here is because of 4-star version, I think, mainly. Just not a big... I think they'll be great as 5-star versions, hopefully. I hope. But for now, not so much. Gears and Quake, a lot of people like them. I'm not a fan. I know some people will say they should be higher, but I'm just not a fan of them. I think the range is very limited. Wing Saber and Dreadwing, I'm not a big fan of. They're okay if you're struggling against the shield gen, but they've got a combo on them. It's just the cost of it added on. So it's maybe an option for lower down players, but I think that you're better using your Titan to take out the shield gen rather than use ability points. But that's just me. Then obviously Vector Prime and Nova. Not a big fan of. I know Freezes is. His ranking will be a lot higher, but I just prefer Rook. Beachcomber and Deluge fell away quite a bit, even though they've had some recent changes into the cost to make them more relevant. They're just not back to their obviously amazing self. I've gone blank on his name now. And Bombburst. I can't really remember the conversion, not the bot version. I've got Wing in me, not Wing Saber. Is it Wing Saber? I don't know. Someone in the chat will tell me, I think. I'm frustrated now. Wing Saber? Why does that not sound right? Someone put it in the chat for me. Is it Wing Saber or not? Am I just going mad? Metal Hawk, thank you. What an idiot. Thanks, guys. I thought I was doing so well going through all this without remembering every single one's name, and I'm sure they'll get stuck at some point. Then we've got Metal Hawk and Bombburst, even with the cost change. I just don't see them being really, really relevant. And I've always been a sort of fan of taking defenses out rather than slowing them or stunning them or anything like that, so I'm not a big fan. Then we've got Redguard and Junk Heap. Again, I don't like the fact that dropping a combiner resets the ability. They're kind of broken in a way. But if you can use them at the right time, they're really crazily good. So, it's kind of one of them. Frustrating for newer players, don't understand that, I'm sure. Alpha and Tarn, obviously give your bots a good boost, but again, more of a supportive role. But it's quite, I don't like expensive. I say expensive, but they're not expensive. But these supporting things that are, 3 or 4 points is kind of like, I'd rather just do 3 or 4 points worth of damage, personally. Then we've got Sky. I can't remember. Why am I getting all the cons, not the bots? Like, it's not Ariel. Try again. Then we got Ariel and Skylar. Never been a big fan. Similar to Alpha Trial and Tarn, that just support your bots, give them a boost. Not a big fan. Blue Streak and Wild Rider obviously got a bit of a nerf, and since then I just think that I don't find them that good. Lowering the HP was a big thing for me. It's made other bots more relevant. And since it's done that, I just don't find them as good. Topspin and Terminander, I've never been a big fan of. They were good for a while. I did want them, but not so much anymore. Skids and Knockout are getting a good buff, but still don't quite do enough damage, and the Titan Tech tree doesn't push them enough like it does to other bots. So I still don't think they'll be that good. Then we've got Twist and Terminander. They were good in Outpost for a while, but now there's far too many counters, so we tend to find that they're not that good, not that scary anymore in Outpost, and never really been that good on attack either. Um, just do this a minute. Then we got Slingshot and Acid Storm. Although they were decent for a while, they just don't do enough damage. Being Scrapnel, I've had a buff to try and get them back to their old self, but being a scout goes against them as well, and damage goes against them as well. Jetfire and Starscream in the same boat as Prowl and Brawl, and obviously Long Haul and Alf Bravo. Is that right? Long Haul? That sound wrong. Is that right? Long Haul? I think it is. Yeah, let's go with that. If not, I can do it again. Jetfire, Starscream, Prowl, Brawl, Alf Bravo, Long Haul, Firefly, Blast Off. I think put them all in the same bracket of old bots that are all one shots and good at one time. But now I just feel like one shots sort of dying a bit of a death, really, and they're kind of not irrelevant. But they are all bots, so I kind of get it. Sea Spray and Octopunch, since they're nerfed, they've been absolutely awful, and even with a bit of a cost change and stuff, they're still not relevant. Dinobot and Dinobot 2 had a bit of an improvement, getting extra hollow recently, but I still don't feel like their pathing helps much on attack and defense. They can be okay, but that's about it. After Breaker and Flame War, people have reverted more to the likes of Cup and other bots to sort of sack more, and so we'll find that they use less and less, but I think they'll maybe have a bit of a comeback over time, especially if we go to front-loaded bases. Jetfire, Sky Striker, and Night Raven, I've never been a fan of. Some people say they're really good to get the shield gen, but I think it's kind of a one-trick pony. Not a big fan of. Then we've got Blur and Runabout. Again, there's better sack options out there. That's their only real use. Grapple and Dirtbag. I think they're a bit OP with the Roll Mine. I didn't realise, honestly, I didn't know about it, but it wasn't. Didn't have it as a 5-star at the time. But with the new mine, that is not that beneficial. There's better bots out there again. Stormclash and Viper, not very good, but maybe that's because of 4-star version, but they kind of fit in with the one-shot sort of theory of not very good. Gone blank. Whirl and Sea Phantom. They have two abilities, which is really, really good, but I don't think either ability is really, really good. That's the problem. They've got two average abilities, in my opinion. So if they had a bit more damage, then they'd be really, really good because they've got two abilities, but not so much. Ultramagnus and Galvatron, they were literally down in the need a rework pile. So it's good that they've come up to decent bots now. They're all right, but again, there's bots out there like Roadbuster and Half Shell that do very similar but more damage. So not a big fan. Elita and Lugnut, only really good for sack, but again, there's better bots out there. Lightspeed and Iron Bison were really good in Outpost at one time, but kind of fell away a bit now and don't really see as much. It was more a case of shock value that people were like, oh my god, what is this new bot? But as people got used to it, found it really easy to counter it. Roadstorm and Spinister, similar to the Sentius Twins, just not quite enough damage for me in clearing the area for the cost they've got. It takes so much time, especially amount of healing on bases and things like that. Snapdragon, his flame ball is absolutely awful. So again, he's probably just used as a sack bot really. And again, I'm not a big fan. And then we've got Armada, Scavenger, and Wheeljack. Probably the lowest of the Russian Warriors. I just don't rate them compared to the rest of the Warriors. I think there's a lot better options out there. And now for the really good bots. So these are the kind of bots that you should be leveling in some way. You could be useful in wars, events, stuff like that. Do a great amount of damage and stuff. And some of the best bots in the game. So to start it off, we've got Warpath and Skull Crusher. Or Skull Smasher even. Really, really good bots. I think they were S tier at one point, but not so much anymore. People aren't using them as much thanks to another bot. Getting a bit of a buff change, I would say, but still relevant. People still use them to take out bill bots and stuff, but not a big fan. Ratchet and Wheeljack, with the nerf they're getting and reduction in heal, I think that should be Hook. Why is Hook not there? Sorry, Ratchet and Hook, and then Wheeljack and Shockwave as well, kind of similar. That they're all decent healers now. I don't think they're absolutely OP. Air Raid and Slipstream were absolutely OP until I think they changed the resource buildings, dropped them down a bit, and people got wise to it and started spacing defenses out a bit more because they were massively OP at one time. They had a bit of a range decrease, I believe, in the last rounds of changes. So yeah, they're still decent, but not quite the OP bots that they were. Optimus and T2 Megs, I feel like are absolutely coming back into the meta again. Had a bit of a range increase, and if anything, they're as good as they was before, maybe. So I think we'll see a lot more of them. Trailbreaker and Exhaust, same as Demolisher and I got my war team. I can't remember. I can't believe I forgot this. This is hard, you know. I'm not gonna lie. Overload. Trailbreaker, Exhaust, Overload, Demolisher, all in the same sort of area for me. Do protection for your team. Personally, I would have Overload, Demolish a bit higher, but I think a lot more people like Trailbreaker and Exhaust because of the protection that moves with your team. So yeah, personally, I think it's probably even putting them in really good. Silverbolt and Thundercracker really good at taking out Billbots from range. Absolutely incredible range. Just make sure they're not electric Billbots. Red Alert and Runamok really good on defense, really good on attack to prevent damage to your team. Grimlock and Razor Claw, not some of the best Russian warriors, but they are really, really good. 6-gun Trigger Happy were further down until their recent buff, where they've had a cost increase to just 6 ability points, doing a crazy amount of damage. Once Shield Gen's done, these can take out the MDS if side by side, which they are half the time, for 6 ability points. So I think they're going to be used quite a bit in wars after this change. A couple of dead ends still really, really good, but only really good for sack, but the best bots there is. Cosmos and Wine Wipe, probably the best bots there is for Outpost, but outside of that, not so much. Chromia and Philbot, surprisingly good now that they're after their buff and do quite a lot of damage, believe it or not. I've got Chromia back in an Outpost for me. I might even use one attack, which is that good, honestly, guys. Go and give it a try. Brainstorm and Guy Hawks as the cost change and become a lot more relevant and do a crazy amount of damage in an area. Snarl and Hunger, really, really good after the rework. I know I sort of said about Counter Punch and Punch, but literally got them yesterday, where Snarl had for a good week, good trying him out. Really, really good damage, quite impressive, sort of up there with Drift. So can't wait to try him out. Blades and Dirge used for sack and obviously the airdrop. Not sure if that's going to get fixed or not. I think it will eventually, but not at this time. But they still do a decent amount of hack. Oh, why am I forgetting the bots and not the cons? Crankcase and Hoist. Try again. Hoist and Crankcase, really, really good. I'm not a big fan personally, but I've not leveled mine, so I can't really comment too much. But I know a lot of people say how good he is and use him in wars. Jumpstream and Scrapper, I know people might ask why are they so high. Basically, any Russian warrior is absolutely amazing and quite OP. Then we've got Hotspot and Tantrum, same reason that any Russian warrior really with that shield is absolutely immense for any team. Robots and Half Shell probably had a bit of improvement since their cost reduction, so they can take out shield gens a lot easier for newer players. Then we've got Leo Prime, Predacon Inferno, again having a bit of a cost decrease, so that will make them really, really good again. SG Jetfire, SG Thundercracker, absolutely amazing since they've had their cost decrease to the best jets in the game, sorry. But I still don't like the fact that they sort of hit 3 times and it gives the defense a bit of time to heal. That's probably why they're not S tier. Then we've got Bulkhead and not Beast Wars Prime. What is it now? Bulkhead and oh my god, gone blank again. Breakdown Prime, yes. Then we've got Bulkhead and Breakdown Prime. Since they're only 4 stars. I kind of get people might be asking why they're so high, but again, Rushing Warriors with that slow are really, really good. Same with Paramagna and Bone Crusher. Same with Sideswap and Off-Road. And then we've got Minerva and Flatline. Obviously, really good healers still, so we're the best in the game still, regardless. Doing great amount of healing in an area. And then S tier, we've literally got some absolutely unbelievable bots in here. So we've literally still got Rustos and Scavenger, and I still think they are two of the best bots in the game, even after their nerf. And I still feel like they probably get more nerfs further down because of that good. But you're talking a few months yet, guys. So for the time being, these are two of the bots that if you've got, get them leveled, use them in wars, absolutely unbelievable. Pipes and Headstrong still going strong as probably the best warriors in the game. Crazy amount of acid damage, crazy amount of damage rushing in, unbelievable protection, so unbelievable good. Then we've got obviously Smokescreen and Breakneck, who are absolutely unbelievable, taking out Billbots, absolutely essential. Finishing off defenses, again, two of the best gunners in the game. We've got Trax and Cutthroat obviously in there as well, always been amazing. Even with the cost change recently, it still left them absolutely unbelievably good. And a 5-star version only just enforces that. Sunstreak and Swindle, even with the cost change, still absolutely amazing amount of damage and range. Slug and Rampage, very similar to Pipes and Headstrong, but obviously give a bit of a different outlook in terms of fire rather than acid, but still really good. Similar with Ironhide and Bludgeon, who do a good amount of sort of stun. I keep saying freeze, but a stun. Is it stun electric damage since the change? But yeah, they do a great amount of damage still. And then we've got Nose Cone and Drillhorn, offer something a bit different in terms of rushing in, a bit slower, but give that reflection as well. So still S tier, unbelievable bots. Then we've got Rook and Blot. Some people might disagree with this because they're not rushing warriors and say that why are Rook and Blot up there? Absolutely unbelievable, and for the simple reason that people are relying on pathing now with walls. And so with Rook and Blot, you can pop outposts from range, and I like clearing out an area, dropping Rook's hollow above, and the hollow walking upwards and popping outposts from range. You got to be careful with the pathing with that, but if you can get it right, they're absolutely unbelievable at popping your outposts from range, taking the hits, and then fighting from range as well as the combiner bots drop down. Absolutely unbelievable. Drift and Barricade can actually take out HQ 18 solo. There's no flare mines on certain bases, so I've seen some good players do that. So absolutely unbelievable if you can get to working them right. Then we've got Tazkid and Antagonate, absolutely unbelievable. Even with the cost increase, I feel like again some of the best bots in the game, and they're probably gonna get another change again, another nerf. I think maybe another cost increase eventually, because I don't think the first one is enough. But let's take some baby steps and see how they go. But absolutely unbelievable. And then we've got Beast Wars, Ironhide, and Sea Clamp, who the new 5-star versions are absolutely unbelievable. As a 4-star, they were absolutely amazing. Not only did they rush in, not only have they got a shield, but with that glass gas, just gives them that extra damage. So forget comboing them with anyone else. You're rushing in and doing a ton more damage than you would with pipes or the likes of the Ironhide or anyone else. And I feel like these could actually maybe overtake pipes as the best 2 warriors in the game. Watch this space, guys. So yeah, absolutely unbelievable bots. I'm excited to get their 5-star and can't wait. So that is all the bots in the game rated, guys. Every single one. So let me know what you think. Is there any there you disagree with? Anything should be higher? Anything should be lower? Let me know. I can have a conversation in the comments. And yeah, let me know. Let's see what everyone's putting. What everyone thinks of my tier list and how crap it is. And thanks to people that helped me out. I actually did quite well to only forget a few there, to be fair. Yeah, it's difficult, guys, naming every single bot in the game. Oh, Metabest put D16 even lower. In a rework, I don't think they need a rework. I think the ability is alright. Don't forget, a rework means like totally changing because it's awful. I don't think it's awful. I just think it needs adjusting so it doesn't go too far away. The area needs increasing. That's what it needs. Down support perceptor is better since it's a target hack now rather than random. Yeah, but again, Peacemaker does it for free, so why bother? Darklands, I'd love to try a spam team. I've tried it since the reworks and don't make a difference really. It's still expensive. Mark, I would love a rework of Broadside 8 Phase. I don't think it needs a rework. I just think that the healing of the and the damage of the thing needs increasing basically. That's all it needs. And a 5-star version won't do that. It needs quite a lot of increase. Down support spread damage like Skyburst isn't good. Yeah, I kind of agree. Would Windblade and Dive Bomb be relevant as a sat bot if their cost will be decreased? Well, it is being decreased, but maybe time will tell. But I just think that Cup will be better because you need a defense for Windblade and Dive Bomb. You don't for Cup. The meta bears, but this yellow area is 90% of the bots. Yeah, but I think that the good thing is that this area is limited. You know, I think we've only got what 20 bots, maybe top of my head there that need really improving. And S tier, you know, if anything, I think that these guys need bringing down to here. I think these guys need bringing to here. You're always gonna have decent bots and good bots. You're always gonna have that. You're never gonna have them all equal. But I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this actually. I don't want any of this. Not the best. Needs a rework. I want them like, you know, they're alright. They can be used. But there's better ones out there. There always will be better ones out there for some bots. But I don't want this either. I don't want this where you look at it and go, oh my god, you've got to have these bots or you're trash. You know, I think that if you subbed out all these bots from your war team and tried just bots from here, I think you struggle a bit in wars. I think you would. You know, without pipes. For Bulkhead, maybe. Without Smokescreen, Warpath, maybe. But without tracks, maybe. I don't know. I think you struggle a bit. I think you'd struggle with a team. You sort of need these bots in your team. Let me know anyone in the chat that's got a war team in Prime League that doesn't use any of these bots. I don't think anyone will step forward. Darklands, I use first aid in my raid team. Yeah. Buff the Huff is still needed. Yep. Darklands, Sandstorm I use for no healer wars. That's a good point. Yeah. Stephen Gomez, you're coming around on Huffer. Listen, I've always liked the guy. I felt a bit sorry for him, honestly, because I've had so many buffs over the years and never quite got it still. He needs his time in the light. Yeah, Max, but I hope they will fix Retgar and Junkkeep and Darklands to summed it up. Yeah, so when the banners deploy, what they do, they kill the bots. They kill them all. So that, when you put that revive from Retgar and Junkkeep, that is them reviving, if that makes sense. That's just the way the game works. They'd have to completely rewrite how combiners work to fix them. So good idea, but yeah. Down to support Blur at a major level and try Sever Shot is sick. Yes, not a fan of sack myself, yeah. Oh, there's no stream tonight for free. I can slow down then. Metabears put Bone Crusher, Transformers Breakdown, really good. What the fuck? Yeah. I think any Russian bot is really good. Honestly. Any. I think I've put any Russian bots lower than that. I don't think I've ever. I think all Russian bots are really good. Yeah, I don't think there's any Russian bots that are low down. Yeah. Any Russian bot is good. You could literally take Pyromagnet into Prime League War. Easily. Max, but imagine comboing Wheeljack's ability with Ratchet's ability. I do have both my war team Darklands, but I don't use them both at the same time. Different reasons. I tend to use Wheeljack for speeding up when I'm sort of beating on combiners and bots and stuff like that, and I tend to use Ratchet more, so I want a bit of a heal bomb. So yeah. Meta pairs put Nemesis Prime does Wheeljack and makes bots take no damage. Not really. The difference is that Wheeljack does it in an area, whereas Nemesis does it to one bot. So yeah. Cheetos put he dropped Headstrong for Razor Claw. I've seen a few people talk about that, but I just find that he dies quicker. Grimlock and Razor Claw for some reason. Don't know why. Darkness uses hoisting no healer wars. Good idea, yeah. King Grimlock, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Darkness has put a 5-star bulkhead will be S tier. I just don't like the slow. I just prefer. I think these guys are the best at the bottom of the game. Honestly. Beast Wars, Ironhide, and Sea Clamp. I can't wait. I honestly can't wait. They're the next two bots that I think I will level quickly. I think they'll fit into my war team and replace Pipes with Headstrong, which I thought I would never say. With that glass gas, they are crazy good, honestly. And I can probably see them getting a nerf afterwards, get a cost increase when that happens. What else? Max put, can RC's decoy pop the combiner outpost? Darkness put, no, I think he can. Because Rooks can, so I think so. I presume so, but I'm not using it in a long time though, yeah. When is Beast Wars Ironhide coming? It's coming to the store very soon, not this weekend, I think maybe. To the store, and then we'll come in a few months, obviously, in a batch. So yeah, as usual. Last prize put, maybe getting ability 11 for Beast Wars Silverbolt would help him. The area effect is quite large. Yeah, I think something like that. And a core, he's not got a core yet as well, so he's getting a bit left behind, but he's got potential. He has. Blade 19's put Rodimus Unicorn should be higher. It benefits the whole team. I know, but I'm just not a fan. I don't like many support bots. I like people that like pop outposts and stuff, but if you look at my list, apart from healers, I mean support pots, I don't really like Trax, but I understand how cheap he is. He's crazy, crazy good. But I don't use Trax in my team. I don't use Brainstorm in my team. I don't really use Chromia because of the support, but the damage is quite good. But if you look at all support bots, I'm not a big fan of them. I just prefer to just kill defenses rather than stun them and slow them down and stuff like that. I know one of Unicorn supports the rest of your bots, but I think that then you've got to use your abilities in like 10 seconds and get them all used rather than picking out when you want to use them. I'm just not a fan, but I understand people that are. I understand it can be utilised to good effect, but just not for me. Jimmy Carpenter's put great list was although Nova is amazing, and while not block level is A tier for me. Yeah, this is what it's about. Listen, no one's ever created a tier list and everyone's gone, yeah, that's right. This is what it's all about, opinions. I will do a tier list. Frizz will do a tier list. Jamie, you will do a tier list maybe, and then we'll all have these bots all different places, and that's the beauty of it. But and it annoys me a bit when people say like, "Oh, was is wrong." I'm like, you can't be wrong on a tier list because it's your opinion. I mean, you can be wrong to a degree, but if I think a bot is trash because I don't use it, or I don't suit my style. So, for example, I could probably put Cup lower because I never use Cup at all. But I understand other people use it. So sometimes you have an outside influence, but sometimes if you don't have that outside influence, then you think I can't see use in it. If the next top player uses swoop and scores to great effect, then yeah, swoop and scores will probably go higher. But for me personally, I'd rarely use them, so that's why they're down there. You know, but yeah, it's my list. What I think in it. Dance, but Windblade S11 heal shield needs to be better for sack. Maybe. Yeah, Dance has put. Pretty sure my war score average is going up quite a bit since setting up your war squad. Yeah, it works really well. Yeah. Drag Spot, I wish they would go back where you can use Rick Guy's ability more than once on a bot. Shouldn't be so limited. Yeah, that's true. To counteract that, I think so, yeah. Sometimes, but you don't like that because you suck at it. There is that factor. But I've never liked it. I've always liked to walk because I've always said that if you walk, that will never get nerfed, never get changed. It's how the game was designed. Now, whether you agree with Sack or not, whether you agree with airdrop, whether you agree with backdoors, all them are gimmicks. You might not like that, guys, but they are. The game was designed to walk through the base and kill all the defenses and then kill the HQ. That's the way it was envisaged, and that was the way it was sort of designed when the game was created. And so the devs will always sort of gear towards that, of keeping that relevant in the game. They will never really nerf walking, whereas they may nerf other things. They might not, but there's always a chance. Whereas if you stick with a walk team, you guarantee that it will always work. You might have to sub some of the bots in and change some things, but it will always work. Dance, but majority of my rush bots are max level because they solo zones, get to HQ, but outpost beacon and drop your binder to clear them out. Yeah. King of Knots pop Beast Wars Iron High will be amazing. I agree. Mark, but would Ruination get a buff in this patch? Because Quoto said it in one of his videos. No. He got a buff a bit ago, but he won't get another one. The problem is that what they do is they go off usage rates. And people are still using Ruination. I don't know why. Maybe because they haven't got a 5-star combiner, maybe. I don't know. But while people are using him, they just revert to that and go, well, people are using him, so it can't be that bad. And my argument is, well, yeah, he is. Oh, Dart's put the 3-star ability. We're getting a range increase, I think. I don't know. It's the first I've heard of it, but we'll wait and see. Johnny Butler's put Trailbreaker is amazing. I agree, but I just think Overload and Demolish are even better. Love Overload. My favourite bot at the minute. I think one because is a new addition to my team. It's very rare that I had a new bot to my war team, but that comes from Cosmos and Mindwipe going in outposts. So yeah, love him. Dalton's has put Brainstorm combo with Metal Hawk, great against cluster bases. Interesting combo, but I don't think Metal Hawk does enough damage really to guarantee killing defenses. So it's a bit, I don't know. King Grimlock's put Blur is not a sack bot. He is a sack bot, I say. Me was a say Blur sack bots. Edward Garcia's put, why don't you bring in more female bots? They seem to have incredible abilities from what I've read. Me? I don't. Nothing to do with me. Don't ask me. Nothing to do with me at all, buddy. But you mean why don't I put them higher? Yeah, I've got Scavenger and Rustus right at the top of the list. They're two girls. Two of the best bots in the game. Can't call me sexist. Blade 19's put, what combat do you have an Overload? Peacemaker, I believe. Yes, Peacemaker. I like to. I always say to myself as well. I've heard this somewhere else as well, and it's made good sense. Always try and add a combat and a core that emphasizes what you're trying to do with the bot. So for me, Overload is all about stopping hack. So around hack, what I will do is all protection. So what I would do is add Peacemaker, so that hacks other defenses and sort of stops him taking damage. And then I've got Liege on him because I don't want him getting hacked because I need him to stop my other bots getting hacked. And the last thing I need is him getting hacked. So it's all around hack, basically, around with Overload. Down spot, I rarely use Ruin. Only if Volk and Comp is down on timer. Yeah, but I'll use Volk for events. I use Comp Trample Walls. If for some reason I can't use them, I might use Omega. But it's definitely Volk and Comp, Volcanicus Computron all the way. Darklands Blur is an AoE bot. Is an AE bot? I mean AoE, I think. Area effects bot. No, he's not. Cheetos put, I walk or sack. Same. There will always be sack bots in the game. Yeah, probably true. Yeah, true. I just don't like it, the fact that people can sack and then walk every single base. I think there should be a place for sack in the game, but it shouldn't be more an advantage sacking than it is walking. I just feel like time should be the issue then, and then you need to speed up your bots with other things maybe. I think, but you don't. He needs to do it right now. Dances, but Scavenger is not a girl. All right, fair point. Yeah, fair point. It should be. Maybe he is. Did you just assume his sexuality? Don't ever do that again. Dub Maftis, but Defosaurus doesn't get enough love. The problem is at lower levels is crazy damage. Higher levels, not so much. That's the problem. Blade 90s, but thanks for the info. No problem at all. Dartons, but he destroys building he runs through. I don't care. I don't like him. It's a sackbot. I've almost got a vendetta against him. I've got a vendetta against sackbots because I hate sackbots. Because I hate more than anything. What I hate is the fact that I take the time, because I'm a base creator, designer myself, and there's nothing worse to me than taking hours, and I mean hours, to design a base and thinking about pathing and everything else and what abilities to put in and all this, and then someone just goes, bunk, bunk, gone, and your outposts are irrelevant, and I'm like, yeah, and it comes from that. It's nothing else other than I just think it sort of really ruins base design because you can make a base that's really hard to walk and you've got a path and take out certain defenses. Where I just feel like with sack, it's just easier in a way. It makes it a lot easier. But Max bot, I wonder if people use Star Saber. Deathsaurus is a sack bot. No, I don't think so. I don't think they will. I think he hasn't got enough survivability to, and it's a bit too expensive, I think, as well. And the range is not amazing. It's great. It used to be unbelievable back in the day, but again, with the likes of Cup now, where you don't need to target a defense and where you can just, you can just put it anywhere on the map. I just don't think there's any need for any bots that target defense anymore, because people get wise to it and start putting outposts in that void area. And so you've got to use Cup and Dead End really, but then just be able to put Cup and Dead End anywhere on the map. It's kind of a cheat code in it, let's be honest. But hey, I understand that that's their design. That's the way. I won't change that. But I would just make it more expensive, maybe. Blade 19's, but if you use a sack bot and you go to pass halfway up the map without touching defense, down the clocks are reduced by half. No, I don't think it's that. It's nothing like too drastic like that. But I just feel like once you've wasted the abilities, all you got to do then is just do a walk anyway, one less bot. But it's not like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I've got one less bot, so time's an issue. Time's not an issue anymore. But maybe with an increase in the effect, maybe it might be an issue. You don't know. Firepower, Ali, just in the stats of combiners in this update? No, they're not. I've heard someone just say above that 3-star Ruination's 3-star ability will be getting a bit of an increase in range, which is probably warranted, but I can't confirm it. I've not seen. Candyman, thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you back, buddy. I've pretty much dropped God Neptune. I've been using Overlord in Wars now. Okay, fair enough. Big Comptron fan myself. Chisos put, so walk without warriors, minions, or hollows. Sack's just a way to pop ops. Whatever is taken away, players will find a loophole or reintegration. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Dance has put SA11 gives him invulnerability at landing for a few seconds. Who's that? Oh, you mean Lugnut and Elita? Yeah. Puffer only gets a cost change, no change to the ability. No, they're trying to keep it just to cost change for now, not make too many changes because they made some big changes in past reworks and they got criticized for it. So now they're just trying to keep it to cost change as much as possible, not make huge changes. And Stephen Gomez put, I love Overload to combat the Lyocasa snap. Well, Overload does protect from hack. So it does stop Lyocasa's hack. So, yeah. Cool. Right, let's go back into the game. There we go. So I did mention this bot earlier in my ratings video. So I've been playing around with some of these bots that have had cost changes, things like that. And it's been quite interesting trying some of the bots out and seeing how relevant they are. And it's one bot that for quite a while has fell away from the meta, never really had a use, and I've always said that they should have a particular use, but never quite got there. And that bot is Hound. And the problem being is that he does 4k damage and then 1741 damage with fire damage. So when you add that up, it comes to just under 5.5k damage for 6 seconds. Now it deals double damage to resource buildings, but that's here nor there really. Especially seeing as now you can't use air raid on resource building stuff. So it's not great. The ability damage fits into that, so that's kind of the damage that they do. But what came to me is that it's now at 3+1, so really cheap. And most people use smoke screens to take out build bots, which is 2 shots, 3+0, which is 6 ability points for each build boss. So with the game coming to HQ19 maybe next year, I was trying to look at some cheaper ways to take out build bots, because if there's 3 build bots, that's 18 ability points that you're using for the build bots. Now, although smoke screen is absolutely amazing at that, because it comes from the other end of the map, Hound has got great range, but it just lacks a bit of damage. And I thought myself saying to Dale, can you give Hound a bit more damage so we can take out build bots, please? I understand not being able to take out fire build bots because of the 1700, but it should be able to take out other build bots in the area that are on fire. And I sort of started to have a go with him and see what he can do. So we've got obviously Prime League extra effects there. You can see there 10% health and DPS. Looking at a build bot as 5,880 HP, which is just outside what Hound can do. So we'll drop Hound just down here. And we'll hit this build bot here with Hound. And you can see he's actually took the build bot out. I thought to myself, what's he done that? And then something I realised. I realised that ranks actually increase damage now. So he gets a 20% increase in ability damage. And so all of a sudden now, Hound, for me, has kind of come back into the meta a bit. Now, I'm not saying he's going to replace Smokescreen. Because Smokescreen... Because the good thing about Smokescreen is it's normal damage. You can see there, 3391. So 2 hits from that is around 7k damage or thereabouts. So he's always going to be good at killing all build bots. But I just feel like if you put them both in your war team, when you come up against bases with the fire cores, you can take that with Smokescreen for 6 ability points. But once you get past that, rather than using 6 ability points for the rest, you can actually take the rest out for super cheap for 3+1. So all of a sudden it's 3, then 4, then 5. So rather than using 6 ability points, and you'll normally have to take three build bots out, I would say, in most wars, if they've got a decent design. Instead of using 18 ability points, you can probably use 6 for Smokescreen, and then 3 + 4 + 5 is only 12 ability points. It's 18 ability points. No. 3 + 4. Sorry, 7. Sorry, start again. So rather than 18 ability points, you're only using 13 ability points for 3 build bots. 3 + 4 + a 6 for Smokescreen. You know, 13 ability points compared to 18 is a lot. It doesn't sound a lot, but those 5 ability points is an extra ability for someone else. It's an extra healer ability. It's an extra rush in for your warrior or something. there's a lot more ability points to be able to use for HQ19. And so, if you can fit Hound in your war team somewhere, maybe take a healer out, maybe take another gunner you don't use, maybe warrior you don't use something. If you want to reduce the cost of the rest of your bots and make them be able to use them twice, maybe in a war, maybe 3 times in a war rather than just the once. Hound's actually a viable option. For a long time, I've been saying he's not, but yeah, he does a business. He can take out build bots. I would like him to have more use than that, but for the time being, I think he can be a really, really good use. So I'll give him a try. I've got mine at a decent level. I think around level 66, I think 67, something like that. I'm going to give him a try in Prime League Wars, try and reduce the cost of some build bots, taking them out, maybe take out a healer, maybe take out Sunstreaker, dare I say. But yeah, give him a go, guys, if you got him. Good alternatives to Smokescreen for taking out build bots that aren't fire build bots. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Yeah, Blade 19 spot. I love drag strip. Are you using all the time, especially during mayhem? Cleans everything up easily. Yeah, just I don't know. I won't say easily. Berserk's put I like Hound and drag strip, and the low cost now he is a very good cleanup bot. Yeah, definitely. I think if you're using him as a cleanup bot, then yeah, one of the best maybe in the game. Yeah. Candyman's asked, are we due a new combat or weapon anytime soon? We've got a new combat early next year. It's in the saga schedule. Firepower, are we able to see all the balance change on a dock or anything? I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to share it or not, so no. Mac Morden's put Sea Spray immortal in the game for me. Nowhere near what it used to be though. It used to be amazing, but not anymore. I actually chased the 4-star, crazily enough. So yeah. Dance has put Blue Streak with Rust Blaster, does AoE damage. Yeah. But Mark's put Blue Streak is still good to take out build bots. Yeah, but again, it's a cost thing. So you're looking at Blue Streak. Looking at 369. So on the first use, yeah. On second use, it's the same cost as Smokescreen, and third use is even more expensive. So yeah, I'd rather have just Smokescreen doing 6 rather than 3 plus 6. Yeah. Yeah, that's but 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 is 18. Yeah, but for 18 points, maybe not quite the same range. You're taking out 4 build bots rather than 3. Let's compare his range to a Smokescreen. Let's have a look. Darklands, yes, I think the patch is going in next week, I believe, yes. So you can see the Smokescreen there, down there, not quite the same range. But yeah, still really, really good range though. Okay, next up. So next up, we're looking at the next rework as part of the patch, and that is Snarl. So we did take a look at this last week, but Snarl does do a crazy amount of damage with his new tooltip. Obviously, he got a change to 3 plus 2. But I think Dale said that he might have to reduce this down a bit because it is crazy. When we see this total of 4,000 damage, it's misleading. Because of the critical strikes and because he does double DPS, that's 8,000 damage straight away, dealing extra damage against fire. So it does a crazy amount of damage. So let's give him a bit of a whirl. So last week he wasn't quite working as he should, but this week he definitely is. So we've got the Amalgamous Core in him, but nothing else. He's only a Sergeant, so we'll give him a bit of a buff in a minute and max him out. But let's just see, just as a Sergeant, how he does. So rushes in. If you watch the AoE damage from the fire now, look at that. There we go, look at that. Does a crazy amount of damage. And because it's all on fire, he does extra damage as well. You can see there's clearing out an area really quickly. And if you watch the lifesteal as well, watch the amount of healing that he's getting as well. You can see there, look at that. 2,000 healing, 2,500 healing. Get a crazy amount of healing as well. So as well as the Amalgamous Core, you could probably put Megatronus on him to increase that fire damage as well. We'll give that a go. Let's see if there's any better with. Let's go Megatronus. Let's give him a combat. What combat? I think Bull Strike. Something that gives him fire. Even more lifesteal. Jesus. Trackstorm might make him invincible. What will give fire damage? Try to think something that give him fire damage. Ignore all them Star Sabers. I'm out of Star Sabers. A weapon maybe? Give him a weapon. He can't have weapons, can he? Just 4 souls, that's it. Bash Breaker, Acid maybe, I think. Yeah, maybe Acid. I think personally, I'd probably go Trackstorm. Give him more lifesteal. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Let's rank him up as well. There we go. Let's give him a whirl. Let's go. I feel like it's better with Amalgamous, don't you? Because Megatronus is melee. Not quite the range. Let's give him another go with back. Let's try him again back with Amalgamous. Oh, Primer. Would that work, I reckon? Primer. Interesting. Would that work in an area though? I don't think it will. Let's give it a go. Depends if it's the basic attack by his basic attack is in like it's just his melee or whether it's his AoE as well. Or it doesn't count because it's not his basic attack, is it? It's his ability damage. Yeah, no. Not Primer. Try again with Amalgamous. Yeah, go back to that again. Okay, Amalgamous, tracks are done. Let's see how he does with this setup then. So get a bit closer. That fire does a crazy amount of damage. Look at that. Not quite enough though to take out those. Crazy amount of healing. Look at that. For 5,000 healing. See that? 5k healing. Wow. It's a crazy amount of healing. Oh, of course, yeah. Of course, it's been stunned by a mine. He is broken on walls, though. 3k healing, 5k healing. 5k healing. The walls will get fixed. Don't worry, guys. They do know about it. So, yeah. The question is, could Snarl be a warbot? I'm not too sure. I mean, that's crazy amount of healing. Crazy amount of damage. But he still is a bit of a glass cannon, I feel. And we'll still get in a bit of trouble. But can't wait till he's had his fix. See how he goes. And yeah, going to be amazing, I feel. Excited for his rework. Excited for him to come out. Will he finally be a decent bot after God knows how many reworks? Only time will tell. But I'm excited to see him come out. I'll level mine in readiness for it. And I'll give him a try in some events and stuff first. Maybe wars, you never know. But yeah, are you excited for Snarl's rework? What do you guys think? Have you got yours leveled already? Do you think he'll fit into a war team? Do you think with some other firebots could do a crazy amount of damage? Let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think. Someone's put Liege on just to make him higher rank. $10.8. I'm sure we can find something better for him, I think. Would Enerax make him a bit higher? Make him 11k? No, 10.8. I think anything else will make him higher. Oh, yeah. 10.885. Oh, wow, okay. Just a new challenge now. Try and get Snarl to 11k. Oh, 10.6. That's even lower. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. An attack core, bring it up more, or is it just Liege? I think a prime core would get him higher, wouldn't it? Yeah, no, 10.1. I know it's lower, but. What, I wonder if health makes him go higher rate or attack more. You never know. No, 10.4. No, I think that's all you're getting. I think it's all you're getting is 10.8. You're not getting 11. Yeah, that's him maxed out, 10.8. It is a crazy amount, though, isn't it? It is a crazy number. But who knows? You never know. Can I try his G1 core? Yeah, if you want, yeah. We've got it. Don't think his G1 core will do it, though. Actually, I don't think I've got his G1 core. No, I haven't. So I tried looking for it. And it took me a long time to look for it and couldn't find it. So yeah, I don't have it. But I don't think his G1 will be higher than a Power Prime core anyway. So still 10.8 is ridiculous though. It's crazy, isn't it? Darklands Blue is 11k with Medium and Tricera. Fair enough. Still don't like him. Next up. So we know that this guy's getting a rework. there's no ability 11 yet. There's no G1 core or anything like that yet. But he's going to be rework. So eventually, when I was talking to Dale about this guy, he's like, yeah, he's disabled. I was like, doesn't he hack in some way? I thought like an inbuilt age core or something. And Dale's like, no, it doesn't hack. So I thought, I'm going to go back through my videos and look. So I looked back into my old video when it first came out. And he did hack. And I said, well, what he actually did was he stunned defenses and hacked bots. So they was like, oh yeah, I could put that back in. He was still got hacking in an area, but we sort of kind of talked about it, and I sort of said that the confusing thing about that is that newer players will have this bot already doing something, and you don't want to get too far away from that because you don't want to all of a sudden that he does electric damage and they go, oh right, I'm going to take out the electric cores, build bots, and then I'm going to stun the whole area. And all of a sudden then they use punch the next day and they do that, and then his hack doesn't work because his hack build boss or something. So you don't want to go away too much unless it's total rework from the original bot sort of idea, especially for me in terms of if it's hack or if it's stun or if it's fire or if it's anything like that. It's sort of it needs to sort of stick to the element that it's already been set with. So his ability now is gain stealth and then throw a grenade disables defenses. Or hacks bots. When it says or, it means and. And hacks bots in a small area for 9.5 seconds. Attacking their allies at 50% of their DPS. Personally, I'd have that 100, but I suppose that the G1 core and ability 11 gives it a bit of room to maybe make it 100 or something, so it can change that. Any enemy hit by the grenade takes 734 dash damage, total 7k damage per second. Well, 734 per second, which is 7k damage. That's quite considerable, 7k. So obviously using the ability twice will be like almost 14k damage. A cost of 4 plus 3, quite cheap as well. So let's try him out in game. So obviously we've got no calls on him, anything like that. He is a captain rank at the minute. So we're just going to pop him down. And you see there, plus his grenade. Now his grenade on live server was really short range. You see there now he's got quite a considerable range. So quite decent. You can see there, decent amount of damage, decent amount of time. So we can just sort of finish them off. We can stun that there. There we go, goes into stealth. And I do like stealth bots, it's something a bit different. We don't have many of them, so yeah. Interesting sort of new mechanism really. I wouldn't say really new, but one that we don't see that often really. We've started with drift, we're now seeing it with obviously punch and counter punch. So yeah, interesting. So we just looked at Snarl, and now we've got Nasty, Snarl, and an Outpost. Let's see how he does against Punch. So let's put Blur down here. Pop the Outposts. And now, you can put it down there. He's actually stunned him. It was hacking early, but something's obviously changed. So it will hack Outpost bots, guys, when it comes out. I'm a bit fuming that this did work earlier, and now it's stunned. It's been reverted again. Interesting. Bit disappointed in that, not gonna lie. But yeah, look forward to this guy coming out. Probably some changes to be oh. So ability 11 looks like it's been added. If you hit an enemy that can't be hacked or disabled, they damage over 18 seconds instead. So that means that the damage is pretty much doubled. Let's upgrade that and see how it goes. So let's put an Outpost bot. Let's put a Liege on. Oh, that's why. Well done, Notorious. Well done. Okay, let's get it going now. So we've got Nasty, Snarl, and Outpost. We're going to drop, punch down. And now, there we go. So you can see there, the area is stunned, but then the Snarl is now doing damage against his own base. Still stunned. Also defenses. Let's try putting the age down here. Let's try putting a different cannon over there. We'll try hitting both and see what happens. So, also this defense can't be hacked. So let's have a go. So we'll try over here, where it should do X amount of damage. And over here, it should do double damage to the cannon because it can't be hacked. Let's see. And for longer as well. So it'll still do the same amount of damage, but for longer. It'll last a lot longer. You see there, look. No, it's not. It's not working yet. So the longer damage isn't quite working yet. Is it? Oh, that was on bots. Have a quick look. Let's read it again. Yeah, so I'll let Dale know. But you can see there that the ability now, if you hit an enemy that can't be hacked or disabled, they are dealt electric damage over 18 seconds instead, or total 12,500 damage by punch. So yes, absolutely crazy ability 11. So obviously still in testing phase where we're still sort of trying to get it right. But I think that's an interesting mechanism where something works. If not, it's not something we really touched upon. It doesn't have a G1 core yet. So it's going to be interesting on how this guy does. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of him? Think he's got potential to be really, really good as a legacy bot? Do you think it could be war team material? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, we'll have to change that a bit, I think. I'll get that fixed. Well, yeah, I'm quite impressed. Yeah, I like it. I was actually talking about this all day with Dale. Well, not all day today, about an hour today. Yeah, I like this. I like this double damage. Could be a warbot, maybe, maybe. You know, the fact that something can't be hacked or disabled. I wonder how it affects against a anti-hack build bot. Does double damage then in an area if something's got under a anti-hack build bot? Maybe. I mean, it's not quite working right now, so I don't want to test it. But it's gonna be interesting for sure. I'm excited for it. Data support MDS Tower Killer. No, it's not gonna have quite enough HP because obviously the MDS in hard mode has like 14k health, but definitely can help towards it if it works correctly. So yeah, definitely. Matt, is he getting a rework? Well, Pat Legacies are kind of reworking it. They usually bring out ability 11 for it, I think that. So yeah. Data support certainly an outpost spot. Yeah, well, I think that when I talked with Dale, what he said was the problem is though is that what he said was if it gets hacked, it takes double damage or something. I was like, if it can't be hacked, I was like, well, I'm not too sure that's good or not. I don't know. Because in an outpost, let's just say you do damage in an area and then you drop overload, then it does double damage. So it's double electric damage. So double normal damage, I don't think would be good. But double electric damage is okay because you can counter it. And we talked about counters, and we have Rat Trap, who protects an ally with hack and disable immunity. They explode every 3 seconds. So will we see a return of Rat Trap for wars if he doesn't become an outpost bot? And you know, by now I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of this sort of cat and mouse of some people put something in their outpost, you put something on your bots to counter it, and always having a counter of some kind. But obviously that means putting Rat Trap in your team rather than someone else. So yeah, I like the fact that you have counters for everything. There should always be a counter for something, but obviously it's at the cost of something else and putting that into your team. And so I feel like it might bring Rat Trap into the meta a bit more because he has hack and disable immunity. He's basically the counter for Counterpunch. But is he great? No, he's not. Will it go maybe go and pull the 5-star? Maybe. And I think that if that makes me go and pull the 5-star version of Rat Trap, then I think it's a job well done. And Dalton's asked how many use Rat Trap in wars right now? None, I would say. None. Because of minion, so minions aren't as desirable. But yeah, I like the idea of it. I like the fact that there's counters. Whether you want to use them or not, it's decent. I like it. It's going to be interesting for sure. People aren't by now, but I've been there for 3 hours. I bought this before I streamed. I thought, yeah, I'll drink that before I stream. And then, yeah, that didn't happen because of how the stream went. So we'll have to see next week what happens. I might have to just do a practice stream at some point, maybe over the weekend, just see how it works. But yeah. Rams has put none. Don't know what it means. Just none. I don't know what it means none by. I don't know. Help me out. Cool. Well, I think that is everything for this week's stream, guys. So much appreciated everyone for tuning in. Tune in next week. I will be here next week. I think next week may be the last stream until after New Year's, I believe, which will be my 10-year anniversary on New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve comes, and my thinking is, this is my 10-year anniversary in Earth Wars. Wow. And I've logged in every day for 10 years. Every day for 10 years. Crazy, eh? So yeah, I think next week's stream might be the last one for Christmas. I'll have to look at my schedule. But I think so. It's a bit hectic over Christmas. But yeah, we will be here next week regardless. It might be a bit sketchy like this week, trying to get it sorted. I'll try and do a bit of a practice stream. So if you see something pop up all the weekend, I'm not streaming. I'm just trying to fix the bug and get it all sorted out. Yeah, we'll be here next week regardless. Even if we've got to mess about like this again. Apologies. But thank you for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sticking with it with the shaky start. Much appreciated. See you next week, guys, and peace out.